Okay, yung kanina po kasi pinakita na yung mga pictures lang po yung mga display namin. If you want actually to see yung live displays niya, we actually have an event next week which we call it actually Breakfast. I-display actually namin lahat ng mga events, lahat ng mga nagawa namin displays doon sa event na yan. It's actually on September 3, 2017, Sunday, sa Jollibee Green Meadows around 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. to 12 noon. So kung gusto niyo makita yung mga live namin, yung mga actual displays namin, you can come visit us. Yung Breakfast is actually an event that where we showcase yung mga models namin as well as it's a selling event ng mga Lego. If you want to, parang learn more about yung mga Lego, then you could approach me or yung mga kasama ko si Kat sa si Chestnut doon sa event. Meron. Entrance fee for the event is 100. Pero kung pakilala niyo sarili.
Para at least, sige, na lang the list of the students. Ayan, so free daw kayo.
Pakita lang po kayo kay Chestnut. Okay na.
Just bring your school ID na lang so they can cross-check sa list. You just go with the history na.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Brian. Okay, may kasalanan ako. Siyempre, ako dapat yung magbabasa ng introduction niya. So, babasahin ko na lang ngayon. So, si Sir Brian graduated cum laude from the University of Santo Tomas with a bachelor's degree in architecture. He is a practicing architect by profession since 2011, and he has been involved in architectural design and project management with a specialty in commercial, resort, and hospitality developments. As an avid Lego fan since 2010, he has recently expanded his interest from collecting Lego sets to building, what's MOC? Sorry. My own creation. My own creations through the collaborative workshops and guidance of his vlog subgroups. With a knack and interest in various Lego themes involving architecture, landscaping, maritime, and superheroes, Brian has participated in the planning and building of Vlog's major displays that he has mentioned earlier, the Abracadabra, Danish Days with the Embassy of Denmark, and the recently concluded HistoryCon Philippines at the World Trade Center. Ayun. Have you guys been to the HistoryCon? Wala, sayang. Maganda yung ginawa nila yung Manila Cathedral. Okay, so since the other speaker is not here yet, we are going to call on the resident historian of the Intramuros administration. He is going to talk about the history of the structures that you will be building. Ayan. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Arcilla. He's a graduate of UST. Walang introduction. He's a graduate of UST Asian Studies and taking up his Masters at the University of the Philippines. He's taking up his Masters in Philippine Studies at the University of the Philippines. Ayan. So anything, kasi diba you have a video that you're gonna make, which is also part of the criteria for judging. So aside from the story of how you actually built the structure, you also have to discuss a little bit about the history. So yeah, John is gonna talk to you about it.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about...
Laging curious question, he's not related to John Arcilla, the actor.
Yes, I always say that I'm not the actor, no.
Hindi siya si...
Yung General Luna.
Hindi siya.
yung lagi nagmumura, no? Anyway, so I'm going to talk to you about the structures of Intramuros. But before that, we first need to have an understanding of what Intramuros is. Now, there are a total of 7 churches, 7 gates. Are you familiar? Anyone familiar about this small bits of information? Yeah. So, now, why is there? Magandang tanong. Why is there such a big concentration of historical structures in Intramuros? We're dealing with historical structures now, so might as well. Bakit parang ang daming simbahan sa loob? Ang dami atang gate, ang daming mga establishment na historical. It's because of the history of Intramuros as the center of the Philippines for more than 300 years. But before that, just if background of the present. So, at present, Intramuros is 5,900 residents. It is roughly 67 hectares inside the walls. Around half is private, and it is under the management of the Intramuros administration. Next slide, please. Next slide. Sorry, 5 barangays. There are 5 barangays. The length of the wall is roughly around 4.5 kilometers, varying between 2 to 2.5 meters in width and 4 to 6 meters in height. Next slide. No. We first need to understand that during the Spanish period, Intramuros was Manila and Manila was Intramuros. The color red here, that's Intramuros. It's the heart of Manila. Next slide. Manila, it came from the Tagalog words may, have, and ila, which is the flag. So, when you say Manila, you say, meron diyang nilad. So, there's Manila there. Next. And Intramuros is a Latin term. Intra is within, and muros means wall. So, when you say Intramuros, it means inside the walls. So, what does that mean? So, a lot of the history, Intramuros is known for its walls and fortifications also. Next. So, this is the present Intramuros in 17. So, you can see that the black parts those are the walls and fortifications. The green, that's the golf course. Next slide. This was Intramuros. Sorry, this was Manila before the Spanish came. So it started at the mouth of the river. It was previously an Islamic kingdom ruled by Raja Sulaiman. Next slide. So it was located at the mouth of the river and ruled by the native chieftain, and it was re-established. Mali kasi sinabi na the Spaniards established Manila. It was re-established because Manila was conquered from the natives. It was re-established as a Spanish city. Next. So why is Manila attractive for colonizer? Why was it conquered? Why was it converted into the capital of the colony? Well, because it was easily navigable because it's at the mouth of the river. It has easy defense, it's easily defensible, and there is already trade in the area. Next. In 1574, it was given its own seal and its own title, the Noble and Ever Loyal City. Next. So, in the site of the former kingdom of Raja Sulaiman, the Spaniards established the Fort Santiago. Next. So, i-run through ko na lang, skip ko na lang to kasi we're going to focus na on the structure. So, this is the Plaza Roma. Next. So, I will describe more about these structures later, pero brief run through lang. Ito yung mga structures inside Intramuros before the war. So, the Ayuntamiento. Next. Next. The Palacio, the Palacio Arzobispal, the Manila Cathedral, the San Agustin Church, San Ignacio Church, Santo Domingo Church. We have here the two Franciscan churches, the San Francisco Church and then the Orden Tercera, the Recollectos Church, Lourdes Church. We have here UST. UST started in Intramuros, by the way. Next, also Letran, Ateneo. We have also here Santa Isabel, Santa Catalina, Santa Potenciana, Santa Rosa, and then of course we have the gates, the 7 gates. This is the Parian Gate, this is the Isabel Gate, the Royal Gate, the Santa Lucia Gate, the Postigo del Palacio. Now, why was Intramuros important to Spain? Because it was remember, it was the capital, it was the seat of Spanish rule for more than 3 centuries. and it was the center for missions of the orders. This is why there are so many churches. Yung mga naka-assign sa inyo, puro simbahan, if you notice. Because these were the mother churches of each congregation of the Catholic Church. And of course, Manila was the base of, it was the base of operations for going to China, because back then, China was the real target. Because it has the market, so every European country wanted to go to China to trade. So, but China was closed back then, so Manila became the back door to China. So it was Manila back then was very important. So yeah, gateway to China. Skip ko na siguro to. Next. Sige, next na. So in 1898, Manila, Intramuros was transferred to the American government. Next. Intramuros was no longer the capital. So kasi yung mga centralized offices lumabas from Intramuros. Lumabas yung una doon yung residence of the Governor General, lumipat na Malacanang before it was inside Intramuros. Then lumabas din yung National Assembly before it was inside Intramuros. The moat was replaced by a golf course for the leisure of the military. Next. The last stand of Intramuros was actually World War II. This is the reason why a lot of these structures that I mentioned is no longer around. After World War II, only one structure remained intact, and that is the San Agustin Church. So everything was demolished. If you see photos during that time after the war, you see that everything is flat. This is aerial photo of Intramuros after the war. So you can see everything is destroyed. This is Letran being bombed. This is the Fort Santiago being entered by a tank. And this is Manila Cathedral in the plaza, and then you have there the Ayuntamiento, here the Palacio del Gobierno. So you can see it's a huge wasteland. This is the Lourdes Church. You can see puro talahibang. Well, before, may mga structures dyan. You can see that after the war, it was really a wasteland. This is Manila Cathedral. This Santo Domingo Church. Over the years, syempre, there are a lot of reconstruction efforts. Since the government recognized the importance of the heritage and history of Intramuros, paunti-unti, meron, but it was sporadic. It was slow-paced. Until 1979, next. Until 1979, when the Intramuros administration was established, it was established by virtue of Presidential Decree number 1616 to supervise, to ensure that the development of Intramuros is a testament to the Hispanic heritage of the Filipino people. So next. So moving on to our structures. So next. So I selected 12 structures na pinagbunutan niyo last August 24. Now, when we selected those structures, we had, of course, three main considerations. First one is that it needs to be a landmark. It needs to be identifiable with Intramuros. Second, it needs to be doable. It's not too hard. It can be done, recognizing the limitations of course, Lego. And it needs to be challenging enough. Mahirap kung parang hindi na namin linagay mga structures ng mga madadali. That is why hindi ko na linagay yung mga gates, hindi ko na linagay yung mga walls, hindi ko na linagay yung mga baluarte kasi it's too easy for you. So, kaya meron mga naulit na simbahan, especially Manila Cathedral. Meron na 6, 7, 8 Manila Cathedral. Kasi naubusan ako ng building. Yun lang, basically yun na yun. Next. So yun yung mga church, mga structures. I have 12 and ito yung mga schools. Next. Okay, so sa San Agustin naman tayo. So this is the San Agustin Church. Next. So the church was, of course, something interesting about the San Agustin Church. It has 3 names. Tatlo yan. Well, since it is dedicated to Saint Paul the Apostle, originally it was known as Saint Paul Church. However, mas kilala siyang San Agustin Church because it is under the Augustinians. After the war, the parish of Manila transferred from the Manila Cathedral because the Manila Cathedral was in ruins. So what can they do? So they transferred the parish to San Agustin Church. And the name of that parish is the Immaculate Conception Parish. So another name that is attributed to this church is, this can also be called as the Immaculate Conception Parish Church. So it has 3 names, but more commonly, it is more commonly known as the San Agustin Church. It is the 4th church on site, and it is the oldest church in the Philippines. It was constructed in 1607. That's 410 years ago. Next. It is a national cultural treasure declared by presidential decree. It's also a national historical landmark. And in 1993, it was enlisted in the World Heritage Site. So, yung gagawin dito, yung before the 1880 earthquake. Next. Yung dalawa yung bell tower. Because after the 1880 earthquake, ganyan yung itsura niya. Well, na-demolish yung left bell tower. Basically, gagawin 2 bell towers. This is the front elevation. This is the cross section. Next. This is the floor plan. So I hope makatulong to sa kung sino man naka-assign. And I hope na as you do your project, you consult with me din. So I'm available dyan sa library ng Intramuros Administration. But please set na lang an appointment with me kasi minsan wala ako sa library. So, next. Balik. Yan. Left side elevation. Next. Details. Next. We also have scale models at office. So baka makatulong. This is especially helpful pag may mga blind spots. May mga areas kasi na hindi nakukuha ng picture. So, next. Yes. Next. And we have 2 scale models. Next. As I understand, 70% is supposed to be Lego. And 30% yung the rest, bahala na sila. Okay, moving on. San Ignacio Church. Next. So this church was dedicated to Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Marami itong bilang. It's the first San Ignacio Church on site in Arzobispo Street. Kasi iba-iba yung bilang eh. It is the 4th Jesuit Mother Church. The 5th Church of the Jesuit, by the way, is the Church of the Jesuit at Ateneo in Katipunan. So this is the 4th. However, it is the 3rd San Ignacio Church na San Ignacio ng pangalan. Because may kwento kasi yan eh. The first Jesuit church was dedicated to Saint Anna. Ngayon, ang kwento, oral tradition said na nasisira ng lindol, baka minamalas, so palitan natin ang pangalan. Malay mo swerte eh. Anyway, so San Ignacio Church. So it was constructed in 1878 to 1889 and it was said to be the most beautiful church during the Spanish era. So I hope na kung sino nakasign dito, you will do justice to that kasi it was said to be the most beautiful church. The site, it was destroyed during World War II as well, but now the Intramuros administration is reconstructing the structure into the future Museo de Intramuros to house the ecclesiastical collection of the administration. Next. Next. So, elevations, side elevations. Notable siya for the two towers and for its proportion. So it was it said that it has the perfect proportions. Next. It's neoclassical, by the way. Pamilya naman kayo doon, no? Mga neoclassical, baroque, Gothic. So, naglagay din ako ng view from afar so that you will have an idea on the proper proportions. No? The bell tower, kailangan tama yung size ng bell tower. Hindi dapat siya masyadong malaki, that's not too high. So, it's important na may mga photos tayo, like this one, na from afar. Kasi, if it's like kanina, back, previous slide, mahirap makita dito yung proper proportion niya. Yeah, mahirap. Hindi mo alam kung how big is the bell tower. So, naglagay ako ng mga next na ganyan for you to see the proper scale. Next is the interior of the church. Next, this is the ceiling. It's all carved wood. And during the war, it was burned by the Japanese, and there was so much wood that it burned for 3 days. Next. This is the reconstruction efforts right now. You also have a scale model of the church. Next. Sige lang. Next. Next, Santo Domingo Church. Next. Next. Yeah. This is Gothic. Neo-Gothic. So, this is dedicated to Saint Dominic de Guzman. This is under the Order of Preachers or the Dominican Order. It was constructed in 1863 to 1878. It was, however, destroyed during World War II, and the site is now occupied by BPI and BIR. Next. The Santo Domingo Church, by the way, after the war, They moved from Intramuros to Quezon Ave. They're now sa may Araneta Avenue, I think, corner Quezon Ave. Next. Next. So, hindi ko alam kung kaya ito makuha sa Lego. I don't know. Pinakita ko lang. Next. This is the inner courtyard. This is the interior. Next. And we also have a scale model of the church. Before kasi we have a scale model contest din. Ito yung first prize. That was 3 years ago, I think. Yung nanalo. Next. Yeah. Okay, San Francisco Church. Okay. Next. The church is dedicated to Saint Francis of Assisi and is under the Franciscan Order. It is the 4th San Francisco Church on site. However, it was destroyed during World War II. San Francisco Church is now in Forbes Park. Ha? Hindi ba? No, sorry. San Francisco Church is now in Sampaloc. Yeah, in Sampaloc, doon sa may Bustillo, sa may malapit sa LRT station. Yung may dalawang simbahan. Yun. Yung katapat niya yung Loreto, katabi niya yung San Antonio. Nandun na yun yung Mother Church ng mga Franciscanos. The site of San Francisco is now occupied by Mapua. Next. So this is the church. Next. Include ko din yung back part. Not all of the churches have complete photos, by the way. Linalagay ko kung ano yung meron. Kaya minsan mahirap maggawa ng scale model kasi may mga churches na ang mga pictures puro facade lang. Wala kang idea kung anong nasa side, wala kang idea kung nasa likod. So So that's why every bit of information is important. So in your case, you will rely heavily on photographs in the absence of archival plans. Kasi mahirap maghanap na. We have some archival plans, lalo na sa Manila Cathedral. Kompleto tayo niyan ng archival plans. However, for the other churches, wala. Next. This is the interior of the San Francisco Church. And this is the church in 1950 being demolished after the war. But so I hope na ma-reconstruct nyo in Lego. Yeah. We have a model at office. Next. Sana makatulong yan. Next. Next. And then the Recoletos Church. Next. The church is dedicated to Saint Nicholas of Tolentino and is under the Agustinian Recollects. The mother church of the Agustinian Recollects is now in San Sebastian Church in Teatro. It's the third Recoletos church in site and was destroyed in 1945. The site is now occupied by Manila Bulletin. Next. What's notable about this church is that it housed the twin of the Black Nazarene. Because before kasi, this is under the Recoletos. Quiapo Church was also under the Recoletos. Now, the Recoletos brought with them two identical Nazarene statues. One was housed in Quiapo, one was housed in Intramuros in the Recoletos Church. However, it was destroyed by war. So, ang natira na lang yung na-copy, yung nasa Quiapo. Next. Next. This is the altar. Next, this is the view of the interior. Next. We also have a scale model for that. Yeah. I hope you pay attention to details sa photograph kasi proportions, napaka-importante nun. Lourdes, kasi mahirap kasi na what is detail, napakadaming detail, mali yung proportion. Diba? Lourdes Church. So this is the last church constructed during the Spanish era. It's constructed in 1898. It's dedicated to Our Lady of Lourdes.